Why would you play an orc? Tell me, why would you do something like that? Why? And that's the question we are trying to answer today. Why you should or should not play an orc in World of Warcraft.
Me, not that kind of orc. Famously said by Orc Peon in Warcraft 3, a powerful statement that raises a lot of questions. Like, what kind of orc is he then? What kind of
That's
orc
a
was
big
he
question.
assumed to be? And finally, and most importantly, what
Zook
does it
zook.
even mean to be an orc? Vsauce Kakio here. That is the question that this episode of Why Insert WoW Race will seek to answer. Because the why cannot be answered before we know what we're discussing. And today, that's orcs.
That makes sense.
What is an orc? What does it mean to be an orc?
For the art!
Tens of thousands of years ago, the Titan-made giant elemental Grond roamed the lands of Draenor, made for the sole purpose of defeating the Evergrowth, a plant. Not just a household plant, of course, but a hive mind consisting of anything from the largest trees and vines to the meager cucumber. The Evergrowth thought to put the entire planet into a vegetable state. Grond fought fiercely, but as he eventually was wounded in battle and later succumbed, pieces of his being fell to the ground to become the smaller but still sizable Colossals. They would take up his fight, but they too fell, and from them came the Magnaron, smaller and weaker than their moms and dads, who after a massive explosion...
They no longer look like freaking plant people, right? Like now they are stone people or something. So did they like devolve from plants to stone or evolve, however you see that? Like, that's interesting.
Than their moms and dads, who after a massive explosion that eradicated the Colossals entirely, became infected with spores from the Evergrowth, deteriorating their species even further, turning them to flesh, soon becoming the Grond. But that wasn't the end of it, and then the Grond became the Ogrons, and you will not believe me when I say, the Ogrons became the Ogres, who eventually devolved into the weakest of the entire family tree, the Orcs. The product of a 1,000-year-long nesting doll unveiling, the Orcs might have been the weakest of their lineage,
so crazy.
in truth, were the smart.
You know what's crazy about that? It basically means that orc are plant people in a way. At least they come from plant people. But that's fascinating how the races are in World of Warcraft. The dwarves, the humans, they come from freaking stone people, right? Like for example, the dwarves, they used to be the earthen and stuff, right? And orcs, they come actually, like if you follow their family tree, from freaking plant people.
Hardest of the bunch, learning to cope with their lack of physical strength through the power of herd mentality and social interaction. Something many of their potential players might not relate to. But this is how the orcs came to be. From here, they formed clans all over the continent, waged wars against the ogres, and sought dominion over Draenor. From clan to clan, their
they were successful.
Existence was very different. The Frostwolf clan, for example, appreciated a noble, natural, and harmonic lifestyle, whereas the Warsong enjoyed warfare perhaps a little too much. And then there's the Shadowmoon clan, a peaceful and spiritual people turned into warlock heralds of the destruction of Draenor through the temptation of dark magic. There are many more, but I'm not Noble or Platinum WoW, and therefore we move on.
Holy shit! That's how many orc clans there are. This is actually insane. We have the Blacktooth Green clan, Blackrock clan, Bladewing clan, Bleeding Hollow clan, Bone Shrew clan. Yo, but you actually do encounter like quite many in Warlords of Draenor. I feel like if you're really an orc lover and you really love the lore about orcs and stuff, like you're gonna love like the whole quest line of Warlords of Draenor. I feel like it's very interesting in all the clans you meet in this expansion.
Or Platinum WoW, and therefore we move on. Orc 101 history. The Orcish Horde clans dominated vast territories of Draenor, living in relative peace with the Draenei and relatively unpeace with the Ogres. The Orc shaman Ner'zhul would at some point be visited by the demon Kil'jaeden. Kil'jaeden, a master manipulator, trolled Ner'zhul and the Orcs into performing a little genocide on the Draenei. What a silly guy. But soon, Gul'dan, Ner'zhul's apprentice, took reins of the spiritual leadership of the Horde, being taught warlockery and necromancy by Kil'jaeden. He took the most natural step one could and made the Horde drink the demon Manaroth's blood. And they did it, because it just isn't good manners to deny good demon blood. And thus the Orcs became cursed, crazed, absolutely unhinged, destroyed the remaining Draenei settlements, and started in...
That's also how they became enslaved to the freaking demons and stuff. Because when the Orc, they drank the fell blood, like the blood of the demons, like they were not themselves anymore, and they were easily controlled, right? Like Manaroth, he was like freaking trying to control the freaking orcs and all that. Like it was crazy. They didn't know that. They actually fell for it. It was sort of like a trap. Because Gul'dan, he like promised them that they will be stronger and more powerful if they do that. But he actually lied to them because they became like controlled. Like they were controlled by the demons. So that's how it happened. They were like freaking lied at. And yeah, by the way, guys, if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more content.
Settlements and started infighting out of pure boredom. But eventually Gul'dan would be visited in his dreams by Leonardo DiCaprio and Lviv, leading to him having this strange urge to invade the planet of Azeroth. And so he did. Through the dark portal, the Orcish horde and their bloodthirsty war chief Blackhand stormed the human lands in the Eastern Kingdoms, fighting multiple wars that eventually would lead to an Orcish defeat and largely a withdrawal to the faraway land.
Oh shit, I remember this, like old school freaking Warcraft. Like, this was so fun. Is there Warcraft 3 as well? Holy shit, why I can't get this? Oh, here. Warcraft, Orcs and Humans. Such, like, this was like one of the first really big strategy games, I feel like. And Age of Empires was really big. Like, I remember back in the day, everyone was like playing either Age of Empires if they were playing strategy games, or Warcraft, Orcs and Humans and stuff like that. Yeah, and then Warcraft 2 came, and 3, and yeah, those good old days, right?
Would lead to an Orcish defeat and
I was a kid around then.
It's
like my first games and
lands
stuff.
of Kalendor by the noble war chief Thrall. He and the warsong chieftain Grom Hellscream would together find the demon Manaroth lurking in the mountains for some reason, and
he tried to enslave the
orcs who drank the Kool-Aid from the blood's curse, but came with the cost of Grom's life. When you realize Jaina was interested, but she didn't make a move because you were with Draka. Sucks, bro. Thrall, having opened the horde to accept the native trolls and Tauren in their folds, finally managed to establish some sense of peace after many years of war and combat. And Thrall, wanting to keep this peace for his people, would naturally appoint the noble, composed Garrosh Hellscream to war chief of the horde. And this is where we end the timeline, because so has Blizzard apparently, because this is, to this day, still the starting zone monologue for the Orcs.
The Great Cataclysm has shattered more than just the world. Arguably the most powerful living shaman, yet in his absence, the Orc champion Garrosh Hellscream has become the Horde's new war chief.
I get.
You know what? They actually need to rework some of the capital cities. Like the other day I was like in Thunderbluff, for example, and then I went to High Mountain, and I compared like the tents of the Tauren in Thunderbluff, and I compared them with the ones in freaking High Mountain. And they are so freaking pixelated, what's inside those buildings, it's so outdated. And I feel like the same is happening over time now to Orgrimmar, like all the buildings and stuff and what's inside. Like everything is getting outdated by like the new zones we're getting, the new buildings and stuff, the new allied races, places and stuff. So I'm actually wondering if there will ever be a rework of the old zones that we have. Because everything is still around the Cataclysm expansion time or something, but we have now so many more expansions. The graphics have been updated, like the textures basically, right? So I feel like there needs to be some rework here done with the textures, the decorations of the houses. Because I still feel like in Orgrimmar, in comparison to like newer zones or what you see in Warlords of Draenor and some of the Orcish buildings, I feel like this is still, like this is a bit outdated.
Has become the Horde's new war chief.
I get that it's for new players, but it's just funny because this feels like it's 100 years ago. Yo, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you might be a fan of gaming, more specifically MMOs. Yeah, I could tell. Well, the sponsor for this video, Black Desert Online, might just be something for you. That Black Desert Online is an MMORPG that you surely already have heard of before, but in case your home is underneath a rock, BDO is famous for its character creator, beautifully designed open world, and real-time combat. And hold up, a brand new expansion just dropped. Eternal Winter literally just released, inviting players to scale the snowy peaks of the mountain of Eternal Winter. And with Black Desert Online having a free 7-day trial, I say why not? This icy mountain is Black Desert Online's first new starting zone that players can start playing through from level 1 and enjoy the game's world and lore through
I wish it wasn't so grindy.
Experience. There's fully rendered cutscenes and intro tutorials to hold your hand through a new MMO experience, while also taking you through PvE challenges and tough boss fights. And hey, have you ever dreamt of being the descendant of a legendary dragon? Me too, and we both can be with the new class of Master Dracania, a heroine who has a problematic antagonistic relationship with the Guardian class, with much intriguing story to be experienced between these two spicy adversaries. And for me, wintry aesthetics is absolutely unrivaled. It looks so good, so check it out. Listen to the icy whispers of Eternal Winter. Get a 7-day free trial by clicking the link in the description, where you can also see more and give Black Desert Online a go. Thank you, Black Desert Online, for supporting the channel. Now back to the video. But being one
Next
of the
will
two
be
main
SO,
races in Warcraft, the Orcs are very popular. Reasons for people choosing to play as an Orc varies. It could be for their culture, where Orcs are typically pragmatists to the bone, having a code of honor be the pillar of any Orc civilization, and their exilement of any in their ranks who shows weakness, leading to a highly survival of the fittest society. But that
was actually Gul'dan, I think, right? Yeah, that's the story of Gul'dan, because Gul'dan, he was kind of like not so strong. Like something was wrong with his body. He wasn't really healthy, and they like tried to actually kick him out. This is Gul'dan, by the way, I think, if I'm correct. Like something was also wrong with his back and stuff, and through Fel magic he became stronger. That's how he actually became a warlock, because Gul'dan, he wasn't like taught in the ways from childhood on. He was just a regular orc, but he had like health issues. He was like, there was like something wrong with him and his freaking back and stuff. But yeah, like the reason, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I think the reason why most people play Orcs these days, I mean, sure, there are some people that really love the RP perspective of playing an honorable Orc and stuff, one that seeks strength and honor and stuff, right? But a lot of people are playing Orc, to be honest, especially when it comes to PvP, because of the broken ratios. Like, Orcs have probably the strongest, or one of the strongest ratios in the Horde. There are so many races that can't keep up with like the reduced stun duration with Berserker Rage. Like Berserker Rage is just such an OP ratio.
Weakness, leading to a highly survival of the fittest society. But that being said, all customs varies from clan to clan, some being more accepting and lenient, while others are inspired by the goofy antics of Patrick Bateman. Of course, people also choose Orcs for their fantastic animations, for their position as the faces of the Horde, or if you are a sweaty nerd, because their ratios boost high-level DPS
exactly.
by 0.4%.
It's broken.
But if you choose to be an
Blood
Orc,
Fury.
I hope that you consider your character's stance on the workers' rights of the peons. As a new Orc, one of your first tasks is to hit sleeping peons over the head with a club, not only risking giving these peons massive concussions and subsequently a loss of brain function, but also denying them rest that they clearly aren't allowed at any other time of the day. Basically slaves kept awoken, sleepwalking through their shifts, beaten repeatedly over the head, and you dare laugh at them. Find them silly whenever you hear their clearly damaged speech.
Something you doing? Work, work.
Please, do what's right. Support the movement for peons' rights. Hashtag unionize the peon workers.
They are being
Thank you.
abused.
With that out of the way, I think we're ready for some in-game interviews to see what the population of both the Horde and Alliance think of the Orcs. So
Wow, that's
Pat, take it
interesting.
away.
Let's
It's
see.
damn good to be back. So are there any people left? It's it's not looking very populated. I need to scan the map. Okay, there are people here.
Why is this map so
Talk to
bright?
that person.
My eyes
Hi,
hurt.
Lisadia. Hi. Hey, Mon.
Hey,
watch it.
Mon.
I don't see any troll features on you. Are you mocking me? I bear many mysteries in me. That's not really an answer.
Let me guess, that's an RP player that's RPing a human that was raised by trolls or something. Like, you have this kind of players too that are, like, I've seen this in Goldshire and stuff. Was there like a human claiming to be raised by night elves and stuff? Like, you see a lot of interesting people there. And the same with like Argent Dawn in freaking Orgrimmar. And Ratchet. Ratchet is also crazy.
Answer? No, just accolade. Alright, mystery person, can I ask you a few simple questions? Now my adventure continues. Bless you. No, wait. One answer. It's all I seek. This city is so empty. Sure. Alright. Well, I'm here and I report about what the people of the Horde think about the Orcs. And seeing as you look very humanish, this was perhaps foolish of me. No. I'm the right person to ask. What do you got for me? Well, when it comes to the Orcs, there's one up there for reference. I believe the promise that Thrall made to Vol'jin, they have paid their debt. What are you talking about? Orcs it is. So the Orcs have paid their debt, indeed. So
What?
you like them. They trying to get on the right side of things. A big thing on path to peace and harmony. So you're a fan of the more peace-loving Orcs rather than a, say, Garrosh Hellscream? Peace-loving Orc, not common thing. An Orc said behind me. Well, sad, and now I must leave, my fellow friend. Thank you for your time. Me never meet. Hello, Orc.
Me
You
never
overheard
meet.
my conversation, I see. When talk loud, over here is easy. Would you say war is second nature to Orcs? No. Before Orc drink green water, Orc rather peaceful. Some war, but most hunt for food and keep to self.
I love how this dude is so into the RP. Like the way he's writing everything, like this is so genius. Like this is a true RP veteran. Like if you get with RP on a level that you can write like that, you have really made it in the RP scene. Like you have really come a long way there. Like, That's insane. Before Orc drink green walk, Orc rather peaceful. Some war, but most hunt for food and keep to self. But isn't that true? Like, if you look at the Frostwolf clan, for example, they seem to be a more peaceful clan, in my opinion. And from what I've seen, they are more... They're not like... Can you say they are nomadic? But they're like more in touch with like nature. They have like strong shamanism. They live together with their Frostwolves. Yeah, they're connected with like not just the animals, but also with the elements. And they seem peaceful and they're more into hunting. Just like he said.
Water, all rather peaceful, some war, but most hunt for food and keep to self. Ah, we found a lawmaster, I see. Me just remember things. You were there? Not at first drink, but I drink, yes. Rather vague, you drank the demon blood? Yes. Oh god. Most orcs did. Did it at least taste alright? Tastes like normal blood, but spice. You drink blood regularly? No, just know how it tastes. Me hunt wild animal, eat raw when rain, bad days, but that's how I know blood tastes. Why asking about orcs? Well, I'm just making a piece on your kind and how your relations are with your fellow horde members. Relation. Me think good for most part, though. Me think elves don't like us. They call savage and don't eat that. Rather mean if ask me.
Wow.
The elves also call us savages. I never see them in any suits, though.
That's true, and guess what? This was something that confused me when TBC came out. Like, one thing I never understood, why blood elves are joining the horde. When I saw like the Draenei, their models, like the way they look, and when then I saw like the blood elves, I actually assumed that the blood elves will go to the alliance, and the Draenei, they will go to the horde. But it wasn't like that, but I would have thought that, because like, if you look at the alliance, they have mostly very human look-like races. What is there? Like, we have night elves, they look superhuman. Gnomes look superhuman. Like, everything in the alliance looks superhuman except for freaking Draenei. And I was like, wait, what? Draenei, they look more beast-like, right? Even though they're pretty... Can you say they're like super noble? But then again, orcs can also be noble. So this is something that confused me, right? Like, why the blood elves joined the horde and the Draenei, they came to the alliance and not the other way around. So yeah, this was like back then so confusing. And of course, like, I see why the blood elves and the orcs don't always get along well.
True.
Yeah.
Name
they have different cultures.
Reporter Solkak. Not roll of tongue, Reporter Solkak. Me think too long. Me called bald man. It didn't have to be this way, Drugthor. What way? South, north, west, or east? South, Drugthor. South. Me no like south. Be too hot. I need to get going soon enough. Do you have any closing thoughts on the orcs? If no disrespect orc no disrespect you, bald man. I feel disrespected. You could just call him by his name. Would that not be easier? Name no roll of tongue. Too long. There. Troll names ain't so bad. You, Volparaman. Sorry, going with the theme tonight.
Oh yeah, Volpara gonna save the day.
That disrespectful. Not even know if name roll of tongue. Drugthor shakes his head towards the troll. Touche, Drugthor. Rianjo is fine. Rianjo no roll of tongue. Furman be fine. Furman, let me ask you. Shoot, very basic question, but what are your initial thoughts on the orcs? Honorable? Think. They have good, simple principles? Just don't be dishonorable. Not so hard. So, simple principles and honor. They are simple people, nothing wrong with that. If anything, simple is better at times these days. Our world has gone through so much change so quickly. Simple ways easier to remember and respect. Just my two comments. Orcs have been the foundation the horde is built on, so yes, simple and respectful principles. I thank you and your people for everything you've done for this proud establishment, Drugthor. No problem, bald man.
Bald man.
Solkak. Okay, come. It was just a typo, Drugthor. Okay, change name to add K. You have a good evening, Drugthor. Likewise, you too, Solkak. Well, that was my little report from Aquamaria. Let's go over to Reporter Kak. Psst. We Alliance people. We don't like them orcs, do we, ma'am?
She's just ignoring him. Holy shit!
And you not answering that question could land you in jail for treason, ma'am. Alright then, keep your secrets. Hey, what's going on here? Not a lot? You're cooking in the middle of the street. Why not?
That's suspicious.
I guess these streets are dead enough to not cause harm. Well then, can I ask you a simple, quick question any patriotic alliance member could answer? Sure. What are your thoughts about them orcs, huh? They are hot.
They are hot?
I would do them. I want orcs to lick my bald head.
That is a weird fetish. Like, what's going on here in Stormwind? And what are they cooking, I wonder? Like...
The last thing I was expecting to hear. They can braid my baller hairs any day. What can I say? I'm a woman with special desires. Is there something on your ball
like
dome
strong
needs
men.
cleaning? Not sure. Do you mind checking? I'm blind, so you can tell. I don't think having sight would change you being able to see your dome, ma'am. I'm glad she's blind. Right.
Oh, gee.
How silly of me. Yeah, you're good. A little shiny, I guess. Do you rub anything on there? Oof, looks like last orc did a good job then. Anyway, why are you, sir, asking us about some orcs? The blood of my enemies. Very edgy, ma'am. Sounds kinky. It's a good lubricant. Just curious to see what the Alliance think of them. I like them. You know, there's been some strife in recent years. Recent years being since the orcs entered that portal. You guys liking the orcs after all they did tells me a lot. They are changed peeps. They burned Teldrassil down 2 years ago. No, that was Sylvanas. Who was her? That's
True.
right, you're dome lickers. I believe that's where Incy's hair went as well with Teldrassil. Was lit like a torch. Is that why you have orcs lick it to get off the sod? Yes. Thank you. This has been very helpful for my studies. You have a good night. You're welcome. You're welcome, good sir. No trouble, baby. We have someone named Grass Enjoyer right here.
Wait, what is his name? Grass Enjoyer? Like, the names are getting even better. Like, I sometimes really meet very, very funny names in WoW. There was also someone with something boot kicker or boot licker or something. Like, I really come across such weird names as well. Like, he finds someone Grass Enjoyer, I found someone was like called boot kicker or licker or something. Was it kicker or licker? I forgot, but something with boot. Like, it is crazy. And this is actually our gnome, so it was funny that our gnome is called a boot kicker, boot licker.
Grass Enjoyer right here. He looks at me, reporter Kak. Why is he looking at me, huh? Okay.
They're spying on you. They are Worgen spies.
I'm just gonna spy on them from here. I wonder if they notice. He sees me. He sees me.
Oh no.
No. There's no way he sees me from there. I'm not here. I'm not here. Don't look at me. Don't perceive me. Is this Kakio? Grass Enjoyer. Let me talk to you. Hello. Hi, good evening. May I ask to you, a surely patriotic Alliance member, simple question? Of course. Okay. What are your initial thoughts on the orcs? A good, bad, redeemable, culprits, green saviors, the like? Me, not that kind of orc.
Me, not that kind of orc, okay.
Okay, yeah. Just a saying I've heard. No, I think they are rather noble to their cause. Some are alright, some are not alright. You realize I could be an SI7 agent and you just said our main enemy on this planet are noble. I'm a member of the Circle, so you can't pull me away to some SI7 chamber. You think we should strike peace with them, that there's more to the orcs than what has met the eyes of the Alliance? I don't think so. It's been several decades now, and they've always ended up doing the same thing. They got a serious culture problem. Yeah.
I think maybe it's actually better that now they have this kind of council and stuff than they have like a war chief. I always feel like the thing is about if you have one person in power, well, you could say the same about Anduin, right? Because Anduin, like, what is if Anduin for some reason is no longer king and the next king comes? Like, what is if this one is messed up? Like, the only time you could say that the Horde was like really stable in a good place after Thrall was when Vol'jin took over, right? Like, Vol'jin was a very great war chief. So if it's not Vol'jin or Thrall, I feel like the Horde is going into a more evil direction, also from Morrow, right? So the only people that could be a viable and a good war chief is either Bane, but Vol'jin is no more, so it's impossible, or Thrall. So Bane or Thrall are probably going to be really good war chiefs. But it's also good to have this council where like all the race leaders, they come together and then they make like important decisions together. It's very democratic, you could say, right now with the Horde, right? So the Hordes are basically now the Democrats and the Alliance are still in monarchy. So, yeah, I feel like Garrosh and Sylvanas are the ones that made the Horde look just so terrible. Like, they are so evil and everything, right? Well, let's see what the future will be of the Horde, especially with like Dragonflight. How will their rule be like? What will be their goals? And since we are getting now cross-faction, I feel like they're gonna put the Horde in a more good spotlight, probably. Like, as a more good faction, you could say.
What she said, I suppose. So, are they noble then? Definitely not noble, on average. Well, they are dedicated to doing that. Not a noble as in, oh, I'm a fancy pants. That would perhaps be more enjoyable for our kind.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't imagine a fancy orc at all. Well, that's just a little ignorant of you, sir. Name one noble orc, sir. They live in leather huts and caves. I do not think so. Like,
yeah,
noble as in top
that's
hat
true.
noble? No, one that acts nobly. Thrall. He's a noble man. Is he really noble? I thought so. I'd call him selfish.
Yeah.
Selfish how? Yada yada is
his people dead, his people so, and he left everyone. Like, I was actually a bit disappointed when Thrall left, and even when he came back, he didn't stay and became War Chief again. Like, what would have been cool from a story perspective, if after Garrosh, for example, Thrall would become War Chief again, and he's like, oh, I have to redeem myself, I messed up, I picked another War Chief, I feel like the Horde can't do without me, like, I need to stay the War Chief, I must stay till I'm dying or something like that. Like, this is something I didn't get from a lore and story perspective. Why just after Garrosh, Thrall did not become War Chief again, and he just stayed, and he's like, the Horde needs me, if I let anyone else rule it, it's gonna be a mess or something.
People that yada yada his people, so he might be noble for orcs, but not too for the rest of us. You really don't like orcs, do you? Anything about them? Their often bold domes, their big teeth rivaling the Eiffel Tower as a landmark, their proclivity towards burning down forests and genocide, and warmongering. That's fair. Wait, Eiffel what? Huh, you didn't hear anything. You didn't
those are RPers. It doesn't
real world
exist.
Thing for an RP world? I didn't just do that. I forgot. Oh no. You don't see a redemption for them? Not right now. Huh. I guess the cycle continues after all. They have a lot of redeeming to do. They literally burned down Teldrassil and Ashenvale. They should come to us on their knees, groveling for redemption. Oh yeah, okay, I can't play the devil's advocate here, really. Fair play, thank you for your thoughts. You too appreciated in these dark times. You hold on to your loved ones, for they might be swept away before you know it, depending on their answers to my questions.
Holy shit.
You two have a lovely night. Bye. A bit weird. Alright, okay. That's been the Alliance report. Thank you, Kakio, back to you. Thank you, reporters. Exquisitely fascinating and very in-depth work, and I hope that you at home are just a tiny bit closer to understand what it could mean to be an orc. So why orc? Well, having checked out their lore, briefly looked at the variety of clans, as well as some of the major lore characters, I guess the why is up for you to answer. And if you decide that the orcish way is something for you, what kind of orc will you be?
That's a good question. What kind of orc will you be? And my answer to why you should play an orc is they have OP ratios, like freaking their ratios, like if you get like the blood rage and stuff like that, and if you look at their reduced stun duration, what is especially broken in PvP. So just for the ratios, go orc. No, I'm like serious. Like orcs, I think orcs have some very deep and interesting lore. They have so many clans, and my favorite clan is probably the Warsong clan. But I'm also really into the Frostwolves. I think the Frostwolves, they have an interesting lifestyle and how they are connected with the elements and with the wolves. Like they are so close to the freaking Frostwolves, and I love that. Like imagine playing a Mecha Hunter and RPing as a freaking Frostwolf, and then you have actually two Frostwolves as a Beast Mastery Hunter or something. Like orcs are also very honorable. Like, have you guys seen the World of Warcraft movie? Where Blackhand was fighting against, what was this human dude's name again? I forgot his name, but there was like this one human warrior, and he actually fought against Blackhand. And the orcs, they had him. Like his griffin was taken out. He was alone, surrounded by orcs, and guess what? They allowed him to duel Blackhand, and after he won, they let him go. So orcs, they have really a lot of honor, and if you are like strong and you are victor, they let you live. While other races probably, they're like, what? You killed one of our guys in an honorable duel? You know what, we're gonna behead you or something. But orcs don't do that. They have a code of honor, and I think that's really cool. They have some interesting lore, and I feel like certain transmogs look really nice on orcs, especially if you're holding two big axes on a freaking fury warrior. So yeah, those are the reasons why you should play an orc. They have many interesting clans. They look really, really cool on a fury warrior and in some other classes as well. And they have a code and honor, and they have OP ratios that are very good in PvP, but also in PvE. Like the Blood Fury ratio that increases your damage output, it is insane. It really, really makes you hit hard for some seconds. Like, it's crazy. They're a really good race. The only thing I wish though is they would balance mecha and orcs, like the normal orcs, to be on the same output level in PvE and PvP. Maybe they need a buff or something. But yeah, this was an interesting video by Kakio. I love checking out those lore videos. Like, I learn more about the game, and I think that's really, really nice. And yeah, why do you play an orc? Let me know in the comment section what you like about orcs, why you play one and chose to play one. And yeah, if you guys are new to this channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more content. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give this one a thumbs up. And I will see you guys next time.